Hi everyone, Tam's here. I'm back with another wrap up in my Midori Traveler's Notebook. I did not do a video last week because sometimes I just have to remember that the actual process of journaling is more important than making a video. So I will quickly show you my wrap up from last week, but I'll mostly focus on this week's wrap up. But before we get started, as always, I want to share a few highlights from the week.
The past 2 weeks were pretty active and I accomplished several goals. For Get Outside, we went over to Honeymoon Island State Park and just explored the nature and had a wonderful time and got all our walking in. For Food Adventures, we finally had a chance to check out a new ramen restaurant that's in the Tampa Bay area. It was absolutely delicious. And for my create and find art goals, I led a Midori workshop at the Paper Seahorse, and we also attended the Gasparilla Arts Festival, as well as a ballet in Lakeland, which I didn't capture any footage of, but I did attend Sleeping Beauty.
Here are this week's materials. For ink this week, I really want to play with some calligraphy. I feel like I just need to practice, so I'm not sure how it's all going to turn out, but I'm just going to use my basic black calligraphy ink, and this is my basic calligraphy pen and holder, and I will list details about this below. I have my trusty Letter Writers Alliance stamp, which I feel like I use in almost all my layouts. I don't know why, but I like it. I've got some MT tape here. Again, if I can find all this, I will list it below. At the very least, I will tell you what it is. I have some great old stamps that were sent to me by a friend in the mail. I have these great papers that were left over from the workshop we had on Saturday, and I just love them, so I'm thinking I'm going to make a collage with those. From our date night at the new ramen joint, I have their card as well as a cool flyer. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this, but I thought it was neat, so I brought that home with me. And then, of course, I have the brochure from the Gasparilla Arts Festival. Here's a quick shot at my wrap up from 2 weeks ago, which I did not make a video on, but I did just do quite a bit of journaling and wrapping up February in general and just noting some goals. And I also, for Seek Out the Arts, I did attend the Moscow Festival Ballet Sleeping Beauty, which was held at a local college, Florida Southern College, and it was beautiful. So the friend that went with me gave me this little postcard, so I saved that. So let's get on into this week's wrap up. Okay, so here is this week's layout. You can see I got to do quite a bit of calligraphy practice. I did, a good idea is to maybe find a quote you like and just write it out a couple of times. This was a quote that meant a lot to me this week. It says, "To find your mission in life is to discover the intersection between your heart's deep gladness and the world's deep hunger." By Frederick Buechner, and that came up in a meeting while I was working on a project, and it just really spoke to me, and that's just been my year. Also, a lot of people are talking about the word for the year, and mine is harmony, so I like to write that out a couple of times. I did use the papers from the Midori workshop to make a little collage. I also tucked in a few stamps that were in a letter that a friend sent me. I really liked the card from the ramen place that we checked out, and so I just stuck that right in. And then, as always, I did a little bit of journaling. Again, if you're just new to my channel, my prompts for my journaling each week are tied into my vision and goals for this year. So when I sit down, I just reflect on the past week. Sometimes I actually look at my photos on my phone to remember what I did. It's a great way to collect things during the week. And I just like to write about what happened that past week that tied into my vision and goals. And I try to keep things very positive. I did use little bits and pieces of the washi tape, and I just scattered some of the paper around. I was just kind of free forming this week. Wasn't sure what was going to happen, but yeah, this is the final result. So, anyway, thanks so much for joining me. I hope this was helpful, and see you next week. Bye.